Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good afternoon. Depends on your time and your location. This is BIAFRA TV, bringing you reminders of the UN Charter articles or UN Charter's revolution on a year 1514 and a year 1541, then as amended in the year 1960. We continuously asking questions until we find an answer or a narrative to change what Biafran people are passing through. If we may know that the self-determination that they claim that it is a right of the people to choose their government, to form their alliances, whether is it only for a black, is it for a white man, or does it include a black man? This is why we are here, to continuously asking questions until we find an answer, directly or indirectly, from all these countries that are members of the Security Council of the UN, and those that implement this law to us. That is people that we are asking questions. If the so-called UN Charter and the laws they are put in there is reality, or if this law of UN Charter and all the articles, if there is exemption that this law is only for the white people, not for a black man, that is why we are asking questions today. But please, before we further go more, we ask you to like, share, and subscribe on the YouTube page. If it is your first time coming, you will see a 3 dots in front of you. Please endeavor to click on that 3 dots in front of your screen. Then you will see like and share. Also, you can also subscribe to my YouTube page to know why we are here. So the 40 views I have here right now, please can you click the like button? Because when you like the program, you are bringing others to know that we are live to do something. The question we are asking is for every human being and every countries in the world. The question we are asking is for every human being, right of a human being under self-determination of UN and the Common Human Rights Laws Organization. That is those that we are here to be asking questions because of our experience or the history that surrenders the movement of the Biafran people. A particular section of people from 1967 to 2025 are seeking to exit Nigeria, and why they use force to bring us back into this by force amalgamation, and why they want us to continue being in this mess of this particular ongoing continuously genocide that is going on in Nigeria right now. The massacre that people are going through, and the intimidation, abuse of rights that people are going through, and under this particular UN Charter articles, they say that it's rights of people on the self-defense, that when they are facing humiliation, they are facing marginalization, when they are facing intimidation, abuse of rights, inhuman treatment, kidnapping, genocide, killing, and insecurity around them, that they have right of secession. They said it's internal and external. And that internal is there. Our own case of the Biafran people is external, is our own chaos. That is why today, from the 1967 to 2025, the Biafran people continuously pushing, or there is a time it looked like it's getting quiet. Then in 1999, the Biafran people, led by Owazurike, stood up and take the mantle back to fight with self-determination to protect his people and keep them alive. But the UN Charter that we are seeing today, the UN Charter that is under self-determination, means a death sentence to every indigenous person. That is why we are asking the world, what is our crime? What is the crime of the Biafran people that external secession self-determination is not working for the Biafran people? Please, we are asking the world questions to give us an answer. So if there is restriction, if there is discrimination on this self-determination right of human being, that he said that it is their right to protect and govern themselves, that is why we are asking questions. We need an answer that this self-determination, the right of self-determination, that there is restriction. Moreover, when it's come to the people of Biafra, that from 1967 to 2025, demanding, asking for their rights, and the UN, with your charter, you continuously denying us this right. That is why, with what our leaders, in the name of Mazi Simon Ekpanjoko, in the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that Nigeria put a life sentence on him on November 25. And we also want to ask, this self-determination that you are claiming, or you told us that it is our right to use self-determination to preserve our life. So we are asking questions that need a common answer. Does it mean there is a disclaimer? Does it mean there is a sanction? Does it mean there is a way of they put resistance on some peoples of their colors of who they are, that no matter what happened, that this self-determination will never ever work for them? Because if you make us understand that this self-determination is going to work for Biafran people, moreover the black in question, then our question is, why that over these 5 getting to 6 decades of we fighting to liberate ourselves, that UN and all the members of America, Russia, France, UK, China, this is our world 5 powers, and they are the one that are leading the affairs of all the 56 continents that's made up of UN. That these 5 are the one that is the executive of these countries in the world. Now, coming to the Commonwealth that Britain is leading, I, as a Biafra, believe, or who understand how Britain, London precisely, block Biafra international recognition in the year 1967 to 1970 till today. And after our internal leader Chukwu Emeka Odimebu Ojukwu departs from this world and handle the leadership of Biafra movement, and said in his last word before he gave up, he called Nigeria government Pharaoh, and he said, Pharaoh, let my people go. In the word as the last word from him, he also said that Biafra will come from diaspora. So we are now asking questions to the UN. In the law you constituted in 1514, as amended in 1541, as also amended in 1960 precisely, and after that, it has never submitted to amendment anymore again. We are asking agitation under self-determination that will lead to a declaration of a new country that will seek for international recognition when they maintain the criteria of a stakehold on the international law or international body called Montevideo Convention of 1933. So we are asking that now that these people under secession, under agitation, that marginalization, intimidation, human rights abuse that leads to the agitation, that leads to secession of a group of people, try to use your so-called self-determination to survive. Now, our question is, in this your self-determination, we are asking you, UN, we are asking America, we are asking Britain, we are asking Russia, we are asking France, we are asking China, we are asking Canada, we are asking Sweden, we are asking Austria, we are asking Australia, we are asking all the Europe and Africa. Now we come to the organizations of EU, Commonwealth, AU. We are asking all of you, what is the crime of the Biafran people? That this self-determination becomes prison to the Biafran people. We are asking all of you, why this your so-called self-determination become imprisonment to the black people? Why? Is it that this yourself, the so-called self-determination, there is people that is being meant for? This your law on the UN Charter, is it racist gender? The UN, where a woman called, or president called Amina Mohammed, is sitting down there comfortably, and the Christians in Nigeria are facing abuse of rights, intimidation, kidnapping, and the continuously ongoing genocide that is going on today. And we are asking all of you, that is why we put your country's flag to ask you, self-determination, is it for black people? Self-determination, is it for the Africans? Self-determination, is it for Biafran people? It is our question that we are asking. We saw a vice president of America under a man who supports the Islamization and the killings of Biafran people, or in Africa. Two of them, Barack Obama and the person that he brought out to fight against Donald Trump. These two people never represent or make us understand that self-determination is for a black man. Obama was the one who introduced gay in this world, and also who single-handedly sponsored Islamization and the killings that the Biafran people are facing, or we are going through today. So it is a high time that now that Biafran people has made a declaration of a new country called United States of Biafra, for the world to tell us, now that we have organized ourselves, for them to tell us openly if this self-determination can ever, or is a right of a black man, or is it where this self-determination will work? Because when we talk about the former vice president of America rushing to Ukraine in time of Russia and Ukraine, and stood up in a summit and encouraged them that is their inalienable right under self-determination to choose those that will govern them and those that are going to give them what they want for them to survive. So we are asking this question. This self-determination, is it for a white man that this self-determination was being meant for. Why freedom of people of United States of Biafra, they are not included in this so-called self-determination of the UN? Because our reasons is this: Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu fought under this self-determination that was existing law before Biafra genocidal war that happened 1967 to 1970. Remember that this UN Charter self-determination has been endorsed in the year of 1514. Then on 1541 it was amended. Also 1960, before Biafra genocidal war, 1960 precisely, this law was also submitted to the amendment again before the Biafra genocidal war on 1976 to 1967 to 1970, sorry, which is maximum 3 years that Biafran people fight without intervention of the UN or America. We all know that Russia fully supported Nigeria, that London, UK, Irish, all the entire continent, that fully made up of British, they are sponsoring and empowering Nigeria with weapons. But the Biafran people with empty hand, with only guerrilla warfare, sustained this war for maximum 3 good years. It's true that history proves that when America want to intervene, or even Sweden or even Canada, to use UN to ask for ceasefire, to know what is the problem of the Biafran people and why the genocide is going on, this evil London precisely warn them or lobby on behalf of Nigeria to tell them that the Biafran people does not deserve to live, that the problem is internal affair of the so-called territorial integrity of Nigeria in 1967 to 1970. Not that these world powers did not come. They came in. But because of that, Britain has a special interest of economic growth, that from the southeast, that the Britain will grow up, become one of the best country in the world. They told, or they tell all this world that it's internal affair that imagine cost over 5 million life of Biafrans, both children, mother, father, aunt, and brothers, everything that's made up of human being. And they allow us to go through this genocide. In that Holocaust that happened in Biafra land, till today, they play it down. And let me tell you truth. Because of playing Biafra genocidal war down and the continuous supporting the one Nigeria, that is why we are letting the world to know that what is going on in Nigeria today is what? The innocent blood crying for justice of the genocide that took place in 1967 to 1970. If I am very annoying, why are you in my platform? Are you not a fool of being here? I don't have your time. Yes, I am very annoyed because I am trying to let the world know the genocide that you join Nigeria to commit in Biafra land. The problems of the Biafran people that under self-determination of secession is what we are asking the world up to today. In these 3 years of the genocide that took place in 1967 to 1970, that has never been revisited back. And because of this genocide has never been revisited back to put a justice where there is injustice. That is why we all must know that the world, you are silent over Biafran genocide that Chukwuemeka Odumegwu fought with self-determination, that is UN Charter, that was endorsed in the year 1514. Then on 1541 it was amended again. In 1960 it was also submitted to amendment again. And after the amendment of this UN Charter in 1960, Biafra War that took place in the year of 1967 to 1970 kick on. In just a barely 6 years of this UN Charter was amended, and in that you are amended of this UN Charter, you also emphasize and give 3 criteria of people to use self-determination to fight for their rights. And the latest one we saw was the summit that was held in Ukraine. The latest summit we saw was the summit that held in Ukraine, when a vice president of America, the ex-vice president of America, is encouraging and preaching to the people of Ukraine, to the people of the world, that it is their inalienable right under self-determination to protect and form alliance and choose those that want to be their friend and those that want their country to work with. In that the same self-determination that Biafran people continuously demanding for their rights. But all we can ever imagine, all you can ever understand, all you can ever see is that the same determination, when it's come to Biafran people that have exited from Nigeria, it becomes a life imprisonment to us. It becomes killing to us. It causes genocide, and you will never talk. And Amina Mohammed, a president of UN, sits on top of this floor and play a deaf ear and a blind eyes and use zip up her mouth. If Russia, as a member of the World Council of Security Council of the UN, can be able to recognize Afghanistan after all they did to America, what is stopping Israel to give Biafra recognition as a Christian, as a Judaism country also? What is stopping all of you who are Christian countries like Sweden, Norway, Canada, name them, Australia, Austria? What is stopping you people to support your own under this self-determination? The self-determination, why is it a crime for the Biafran people? Because there is no two ways about it, that the Biafran people are, that this self-determination is not for us. If it is, why was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu traveled to Kenya and he was kidnapped from all the way from Kenya to Nigeria. And today, on November 20, 2025, in this 21st century, that the self-examination is here, why was he be sentenced to life imprisonment? Why Simon Ekpa, my prime minister, is in the prison in Finland? Are you telling us that you are not seeing all this, that all this that we are passing through, that you have never brought to your notice? That this has never brought to your notice, UN, EU, AU, the evil UK and London, the most devilish and demonic people with their selfish interests of economy from Biafra land that will make you to be rich, and Finland has joined. All of you are going to witness what Biafran people has been witnessing from 1910, from 1905, when Britain starts this movement of amalgamation to by force Biafran people. We are here to remind you what your law taught us and what you represent. Why that this self-determination for the Biafran people, it becomes a crime. Why self-determination becomes a crime to us? Mazen and the kind of fighting under self-determination, you call it secession, and we accepted. But it's under secession, under your UN Charter article, that you prove 3 criteria of how people, whether from the colonial master or from existing country or outrightly on their own. And you said that secession simply means a fully independence of outright a new country from a present country, happen to be Nigeria. Why are we still going through what our forefathers went through again? And you open mouth talk about self-determination. You must tear the law of UN, because it is intimidation to the black man, to the Biafran people. There is a racist on it. There is pure racist when it comes to your self-determination of the UN that controls both in African Charter. Africa is a mess. Britain control Africa till today. Today, only countries that sends them away are doing better. We are asking questions to the entire world, to Europe, to Africa. Also, we want to ask this question. Did you put in the UN Charter how many decades people will use self-determination to fight before they can be able to be organized or leave them to stay as a country? Please tell us. Because I have gone through your self-determination charters, articles, and all. I did not find anything that there will be a year or a decade that people will fight before the self-determination will work for them. Then the question is, how many years did Russia and Ukraine fought before you intervene into them? Vietnam, Cuba, and the other countries around them, and Cuba, how many did they fought before you use self-determination and put ceasefire to know what is the problem? Why is your self-determination is only for color, whites, not for black people? Because I am living witness that in that UN Charter it's not working for us. That is why my president, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, was being kidnapped all the way from Kenya and return him to Nigeria. And on 20th of this November 2025, he was being sentenced to life imprisonment and put to a prison where no prison is supposed to be, where Usman Dan Fodio of 1904 begins with the agenda of Islamization. That is where they put him. That is where after James Omotocho has received bribe from Britain, and he sentenced Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, a man. Please, under this self-determination, People, are we going to fold their hand and put their head down for them to be killed? Is it that is self-determination? Or under the self-determination, I see in some article that you can use arm, gun, and bullet truth to protect yourself. That is the self-determination. Why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu introducing arm wing to Biafran becomes a life in prison for him? Why Simon Ekpa fighting under the self-determination in one country? 2 leaders are being incarceration. That simply means because of they are black. Precisely, they are coming from the rising sun, Biafra. Is it why that your self-determination is exempted? There is restriction when it comes to Biafran people. When it comes to black man, that is self-defense is not going to work for us. We want to ask this question to you. What is our crime? Our crime is that we are a human being like you. That you have 2 eyes, we have 2. You have 2 ears, we have. You have 2 open of nose, we have. You have 5 fingers in one hand, we have. You also have 10 fingers, we have 10 fingers. The same way you jog, the same way we jog. The same way you run, the same way we run. The same way you use your hand, take food, put inside your mouth. In the same way we are doing that. So we are asking you, why this discrimination of Biafran people? Why suppressing Biafran people all the time? Why in Africa that you always plan how to wipe away African people? Today, the continuously ongoing genocide in the name of belief of Usman Danfodio, that simply means to Islamize every indigenous person, is happening today. We are asking question, why self-determination is a crime to Biafran people? Why Biafran people's self-determination becomes a crime? Why is it that over 6 decades of we are demanding for this self-determination that you have never answered us? We want to ask you again. Namibia from South Africa fought only 24 years, which is 2 decades or more than that, for them to have their own freedom. And when South Africa refused to let them go, you revoke the South Africans' mandate of being a member of the UN, member of the Commonwealth, member of the EU. You revoke their mandates and sanction them, place embargo on them that makes them to free people of Namibia and give them recognition. When Bangladesh is fighting under self-defense, self-determination, Rahman that leads them is fighting. He was in prison, arrested, only 1 year. You intervene in their matter of Bangladesh and Pakistan and sent a man that was given a death sentence by military of Pakistan. You set him free and make Bangladesh to become a country. The same thing happened when India and Pakistan are fighting. You play a vital role to save the life of the people. Why did the law of the UN Charter of Self-Determination is a death sentence to Biafran people? Why is it a crime to us? We want to know. Divine Precious, I can see good evening from here. Thank you so much. Now, let us go to read your so-called self-determination articles that you present out for us. Let us see and prove to you that it's not working for Biafran people. I want to know why you want us to wipe away. Emergence as a sovereign independent state, independency under what? Emergence as a sovereign state, independent state in the primary and the most complete way for non-self-government governing territory, NSGT. We want to read to you the criteria you blow out that you give people as self-determination under secession, what we can use to do it. My people, please pay attention as we read, so you may concur with or understand why I am asking questions. And I will not stop asking, bringing your flag, your name, to ask you reason why you just bent on to destroy those. Why did you place embargo on Biafran people? Why is it that you are so-called UN Charter and all that leads to Montevideo Convention of 1933 and Geneva Convention of 1949 and also Vienna Convention of 1978? Why is all of them not working for us? Because we are black. Your UN Charter has what is called gender races, tribe races, color races. That is what UN represents. When we take action, when we do everything under this UN Charter, you only call for our race and sentence us to life imprisonment. That is all. That is why it is all about intimidation and races. But when it happens to the white, you will run, kitty kata, run very fast to go and quench the fire and stop and value the life. But when it's going to the Biafran's life, it does not matter. That is why the Holocaust of the 1967 to 1970 genocide has never been brought to book till today. You play it down because of they are black. But if it happened to any of you, by speed, with the fighter jet, with everything, you dive in to place his fire, to tell them, it is your inalienable right. Where is the right of black man? Where is the right of Biafran people under this self-determination? For how many decades are we going to seek for this self-determination with so-called secession? Your tag is, you are the one who even introduced secession. You are the one that introduced secession. You said this secession is another way that leads a people, that when it comes to secession, that people that do secession, that simply means that they want full independence of their own outrightly, not under the present country, like Taiwan being a country under Russia. That is internal. Then external is, you call it secession. You give a 3 criteria on the UN Charter on this particular self-determination. In the morning, we handled one. We are this evening to handle the second one. And we will continue till the last number of it. Why this your so-called self-determination is not working for a black man? Why is it not working for the precisely Biafran people? Why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu using self-determination to fight, to protect his people? Why is this today that Nigeria that kidnapped him, that to break your own, all the international laws, has the jurisdiction to give him life imprisonment? Tell me, if you said this is a bad example. What we are passing through is what we are saying. And we are here to write our story back. We also proving to you that what British told you, what London told you against us in 1967 to 1970 is not true. Please, let us go into this emergency as a sovereign independent state, independency under the UN Charter. Let's listen.
Emergence as a sovereign independent state, independence, is the primary and most complete way for a non-self-governing territory, NSGT, to fulfill its right to external self-determination under international law. It is one of the three options outlined in United Nations General Assembly Resolution
Listen.
1541, 15, 1960, for a colonial territory to achieve a full measure of self-government. 1. Core meaning: full sovereignty. This option means the territory ceases to be dependent on an administering power and becomes a new, fully independent country with all the legal rights and obligations of a sovereign state. Sovereignty: it means having supreme and independent authority over a defined territory, free from the control of any external power. Independence: it means the freedom to conduct both internal affairs, choosing a government, making laws, and external affairs, entering treaties, joining international organizations, without interference from the former colonial power or any other state. 2. Legal criteria for statehood. Once a territory declares independence, its status as a sovereign independent state is typically assessed against the widely accepted criteria set out in the 1933 Montevideo Convention. An emerging state must possess the following four elements. 1. A permanent population, a stable group of people residing within the territory. 2. A defined territory, a geographically bounded area over which control is exercised, even if borders are disputed. 3. A government, a political authority that is capable of exercising effective control over the territory and maintaining law and order. This government must be independent of foreign control. 4. Capacity to enter into relations with other states, the functional ability and legal right to engage with the international community, e.g., signing treaties, joining the UN. 3. The process of emergence. The UN expects the transition from an NSGT to an independent state to occur based on the free will of its people. Free expression of will. The decision for independence must be the result of the freely expressed wishes of the people of the territory. Democratic process. This choice is generally confirmed through an impartial, democratic process, such as a referendum or plebiscite, often supervised by the United Nations. Transfer of power. The administering power is obligated to immediately transfer all powers to the people of the territory, without conditions or reservations, enabling them to enjoy complete independence. In essence, emergence as a sovereign independent state is the final, ultimate goal of decolonization, creating a new, full member of the international community.
If you are making a mistake, call me now and tell me that this is not UN law charters. If there one more comment from you, I will block you. That is how I do. Because I'm not here to please you. I hope you had it all. I want to play it again. I want to do what? Play it again. Let's listen again.
Emergence as a sovereign independent state, independence, is the primary and most complete way for a non-self-governing territory, NSGT, to fulfill its right to external self-determination under international law. It is one of the three options outlined in United Nations General Assembly Resolution 1541, 15, 1960, for a colonial territory to achieve a full measure of self-government. 1. Core meaning: full sovereignty. This option means the territory ceases to be dependent on an administering power and becomes a new, fully independent country with all the legal rights and obligations of a sovereign state. Sovereignty: it means having supreme and independent authority over a defined territory, free from the control of any external power. Independence: it means the freedom to conduct both internal affairs, choosing a government, making laws, and external affairs, entering treaties, joining international organizations, without interference from the former colonial power or any other state. 2. Legal criteria for statehood. Once a territory declares independence, its status as a sovereign independent state is typically assessed against the widely accepted criteria set out in the 1933 Montevideo Convention. An emerging state must possess the following four elements. 1. A permanent population, a stable group of people residing within the territory. 2. A defined territory, a geographically bounded area over which control is exercised, even if borders are disputed. 3. A government, a political authority that is capable of exercising effective control over the territory and maintaining law and order. This government must be independent of foreign control. 4. Capacity to enter into relations with other states, the functional ability and legal right to engage with the international community. e.g., signing treaties, joining the UN. 3. The process of emergence. The UN expects the transition from an NSGT to an independent state to occur based on the free will of its people. Free expression of will. The decision for independence must be the result of the freely expressed wishes of the people of the territory. Democratic process. This choice is generally confirmed through an impartial democratic process, such as a referendum or plebiscite, often supervised by the United Nations. Transfer of power. The administering power is obligated to immediately transfer all powers to the people of the territory, without conditions or reservations, enabling them to enjoy complete independence. In essence, emergence as a sovereign independent state is the final, ultimate goal of decolonization, creating a new, full member of the international community.
Now, as we all use our ear and hear it all, Biafran people, have we never met all these criteria? Biafran people has overmet these criteria. Biafran people under United States of Biafra that was declared on November 29, 2024 have overmet these criteria. That is why we are asking, the so-called self-determination right of the UN Charter and Article, why is it against Biafran people? Yes, we met all these criteria. We have overmet the criteria. Then, using these criteria of the UN Charter under self-determination, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, did he supposed to be in prison? Simon Ekpa, did he supposed to be in prison? All the Biafrans that was kidnapped and put in Nigeria dungeons and prisons, are they supposed to be there? If the self-determination is really working for a black man, if this what we all just had right now is true, do you think that any of this, all of us, or by today, are we not supposed to be organized to the entire country, proving from 1967 to 2025 how many years that Biafra has fought for this self-determination against Nigeria authority that happened to be Britain, London, UK, France, and China that are holding Biafran people in this present 2025, in this present 21st century. Before we go into more details on it, there's something I want to let Biafran people hear. Let us find more things out. Let us read more. Then we now choose. Why that this self-determination, whether if it's working for Biafran people, when it's come for us, using, or we use the name they give, they call it what? Secession. They say that secession means a group of people fully prepare to have full independency, whether from colonial masters or from a country like Nigeria that means a death sentence to every indigenous person. That we have this right to use it, this self-determination, to preserve and defend our borders and our territory. That is why we are calling on America. That is why we ask EU. That is why we are asking UN. That is why we are asking France. That is why we are asking Russia, Canada, Sweden, Israel on their own. All of you believe in this self-determination. Our question is, why that this self-determination is not working for us? Why do you put secession into your law? That is, people that use secession, that you see them as people who has rights to move away, fully having independence on their own country, to become an existing country, and that nobody is supposed to interfere on their matter. The self-determination of the UN Charter of 1514, the first time they endorsed this UN Charter was in the year 1514. Then, in the year 1914, in the year 1514, this UN Charter was amended in the 1514, in 1541. Then also, in 1960 again, this UN Charter was submitted to the amendment. They never scratched out self-determination. They keep on putting self-determination. In 1514, there is no criteria for self-determination. There is no single criteria for self-determination. Then, in the year 1514 was the first time ever they endorsed UN Charter. Also, in the year of 1541, this law that they have endorsed in 1514 was submitted to amendment in 1541. Then they now give criteria. They just only give one criteria. If you follow the history line of this endorsement of this law, they give only one. They said about colonial organization of people to move for those that Britain or there is any colonial master, they are under them. And now only that particular one. Then they came back again in 1960. They came back again after 1541. They came back again in 1960 to do another amendment, and they put more two criteria. What are these more two criteria? They put internal and external. Internal means if you want to be a country, but you want to continuously be under the existing country. They continuously doing what? Submitting it to amendment. That time, they are not answering UN. It's when that finally, when they put it under amendment, they now look for an organization that they will use to control the 56 countries. Then they are not even up to 56 countries that's made up of UN as a country. Now, what is there that we have to understand is this. Then they now came back. Then what is internal? Internal, let me give you an example. Internal is like now, do you know that Taiwan is a country under China? Yes. Then external is the one they call secession. They call it what? Secession. Secession is what Biafra people are using, because we don't want to be a country under another country. We want outright country on our own, to govern ourselves, to prove who we are. In the world that we are living today, for you who are talking about English, those that are ruling Nigeria are they don't even speak English for 1 minute. And you know what we are doing? That we are speaking our African English, not Europe English, and the what they brought to us is part of this their so-called English that are making us to clean ourselves today. They are supporting Ukraine because Ukraine is white. They are supporting Ukraine because Ukraine is white. They are not supporting me because I am a black man. That is the reason why. So I know what I'm doing, my brother. I know my problem. And I am facing that problem squarely. And I think God is saying it's excellent, yes. And that is why we are calling on the black to rise up. It's a time for black people to rise up. So we will put an end to this intimidation that they use the UN Charter to intimidate all of us. If Africa did not join the line of Ibrahim Traore, we are still under colonial powers. That is why Nigeria is today. Nigeria is still under colonial powers of Britain. Because the amalgamation of 1914 is only in the interest of economy that we boast Britain. That is why their people are answering Nigeria. If there is no oil, if there is no amalgamation, if there is no interest in the economy, that's how we have our resources, nobody will answer Nigeria. That is what I will ask question. Do you know who you are before the amalgamation of 1914? Yes, also in Cameroon. That is why I'm also encouraging the youth of Cameroon to continue protesting, to continue the revolution that will set them free. Listen to this. We want to know, because they will tell you self-determination. Now, in all that you are seeing here, with all that we are passing through black, with all Africa is going through, the self-determination, is it working? The self-determination is simply mean that it's not for a black man. That is why we must exit this enclave, this thing they call UN Charter, that they are not for me, that they use it to intimidate me, they use it to marginalize all the Africans, not only Biafran people. They use it to do what? To marginalize. That is why I am advocate of, now that Biafra has been re-declared, now that Biafra has been re-declared on November 29, 2024, for people to join the United States of Biafra government, to exit Nigeria fully, for us to seek only words, our recognition. If the Europeans, if the EU, if the UN and the European and Asia refuse to recognize us, why not African people to recognize their own brother who will help to stop this continuously genocide that is happening in Nigeria? But I am happy, but I am also asking for more from one particular man, Burkina Faso president. In your Adi Burkina Faso summit, you let the world to understand that the issue of Biafra is no longer internal affair of Nigeria, that it is external, not internal anymore. We thank you for that. And we also thank you for welcoming delegates from the United States of Biafra in Adi Burkina Faso summit that happened 2 days. We thank you for that. We thank you so much. Every man has one vote. And you cannot say something that you are not into it, and something that you don't have experience of it. Before the declaration of University of Biafra, before we make a declaration, our Prime Minister, Simon, conducted a self-referendum with the government executive. We have over 50 million self-referendum votes conducted by the Biafran people. Only me, I help 30 people to vote on their email, online, in the homeland. I help and encourage people to go and vote. Do you know that somebody like Atiku is never a Nigeria? That is from the southern Cameroon. And through a self-referendum vote, only vote to bring him to become a Nigeria today, and is contesting as a president. Go to Biafra website. Yes, it's from Cameroon. Go to Biafra website on internet and type United States of Biafra.org and tell me what you will see. Anambra, in Anambra, Old Anambra is how we dress it. Biafra have a defined territory of 40 states that's made up of Biafra. In that old Anambra, there is a 3 new states that Biafran people bring out from there, that everybody will know who is your senator, who is your governor, who is your county chairman. You will know everybody, not like going to Abuja. A vote was conducted on November 4th by Biafran people. And the check on S handle of our deputy prime minister, you will see people from homeland voting, not that Nigeria kangaroo election. The result that one state gives out, the so-called Hope Ozodinjo could not be able to get such a result. So when we are saying it will be like play to people, but it has come to happen. So in Old Anambra, we have what? Ikemba State, or Dimegu State, and Omambla State. They voted for their governorship election and deputy election, and people have swear in after they have won the election. So let us go back to this particular self-determination and the criteria of self-determination. Listen to this.
Yes, there have been documented cases of Christians being detained or imprisoned in Sokoto, particularly in the context of religious laws, political conflicts, and security challenges in Nigeria's history. The issue of Christians being sent to prison in places like Sokoto, a city deeply tied to the Sokoto Caliphate and the seat of the Sultan, the spiritual head of Muslims in Nigeria, has come up both historically. Integration with an existing independent state is one of the three legitimate ways a non-self-governing territory,
that is external,
can exercise its right to external self-determination under international law. This concept was formally defined in Principle V1 and Principles VIII and IX of United Nations General Assembly Resolution 1541.
For somebody who come to tell me that the UN was formed in 1945, use that you are lying, you don't know the law. Do you hear when UN is being formed? When they endorsed this in General Assembly Resolution in 1514, is when this law started. It's when self-determination come to become a law that controls people. We come with evidence. We don't just make a story. We want Biafra that will present truth to the world, not Biafra with propaganda and lies and deceit.
1960, which guided the decolonization process.
Do you hear that? In the era of what? Of declaration of what? Genocide that happens here. Let's continue. So you will see, you will understand why we are asking if this law that was been able to in 1541 finally, that was submitted to amendment in 1960, if it is for the black man.
It essentially means the complete and permanent political and administrative merger of a former colonial territory into the parent or an adjacent independent state, but only under specific, strict conditions that guarantee equality and democratic choice. Key criteria for integration. Integration is legally considered a valid exercise of self-determination only if it meets two fundamental criteria: complete equality and free and informed choice. 1. Complete equality, Principle 8. The territory being integrated must become an integral part of the absorbing state on a basis of absolute parity. This means the people of the former NSGT must acquire equal status and rights. They must be granted the same legal status and rights of citizenship as the people of the independent country. Equal guarantees of rights. They must have equal protection of fundamental rights and freedoms, without any distinction or discrimination. Effective participation. They must have equal rights and opportunities for representation and effective participation in the executive, legislative and judicial organs of the integrating state at all levels. In short, the territory cannot be treated as a subordinate possession. Its status must be constitutionally indistinguishable from any other part of the independent state. 2. Free and informed choice, Principle IX. The decision to integrate must be the voluntary and transparent expression of the will of the people in the NSGT. Advanced self-government. The integrating territory must have attained an advanced stage of self-government with free political institutions, demonstrating its people have the capacity to make a responsible choice. Full knowledge. The people must be acting with full knowledge of the change in their status and the consequences of integration. Democratic process. The choice must be expressed through informed and democratic processes, impartially conducted and based on universal adult suffrage, e.g., a UN-supervised referendum or plebiscite. Integration versus free association. The key
Listen.
difference between integration and the other option, free association, lies in the degree of permanence and sovereignty retained by the territory. Feature. Integration with an independent state. Free association with an independent state. Legal status. The territory is fully absorbed and becomes an integral, inseparable part of the existing state. The territory retains its separate identity and continues as a sovereign entity with a formalized, constitutional link to the other state. Revocability, permanent, or at least as permanent as any constitutional change. There is no guaranteed international right to unilaterally modify the status later. Modifiable. The people retain the freedom to modify their status, including moving toward full independence, through democratic means at any time. Relationship. Unitary. The relationship is governed by the constitutional law of the integrating state. Contractual. The relationship is based on a mutual agreement or treaty. In essence, integration is the choice to end the NSGT's separate political life and fully join another state, whereas free association is the choice to partner with another state while reserving the right to change that relationship.
Are you hearing it? As we are asking these questions, that is why we use their own law to ask our question to the UN. We use UN law to ask our question. So we are not forming another new questions. We use the law of your so-called self-determination that put into amendment 2 times after 1541, then go on again to 1960, that finally, after that 1960 amendment, they have never amended UN Charter again till today. We are asking you on this year criteria of having a free, fully independent state that are not under old state. On this self-determination that you put all these criteria for us, why that this self-determination has never, ever, ever worked for Biafran people? Why that when we use this self-determination, you see us or you don't even see us at all? Why that when we use this self-determination, you give us a name, terrorist? Why? So that simply means, does it mean that in this 21st century, when it goes to the Biafran people, when it's going to a black man, that you have changed that law, that self-determination become terrorist? Please, can you answer us, UN? So, are you telling us right now that this section that under self-determination of people has turned, that you have changed it when it's come to a black man? Or is it any other UN charter that white people are using? And is it any one that you introduce for the Biafran people, that when they use secession to achieve a new country under this self-determination, you will tag us terrorists, rebel? That is our question we are asking you. We are asking you this question. This self-determination, why is that when it's come to a black people, when it's come to us Biafran people, you tag this your particular UN Charter of self-determination that you introduced to the world in the first time in the world? 1514 was first time self-determination was introduced. Maybe, okay, you never know that people will exist from Africa and they will grow up to ask questions. Okay, that is why you bring your so-called self-determination for only you white people to use it. Oh, okay. We have come to understand it. We have come to understand this your so-called self-determination. You never believed that people will rise from Africa to request for their right, to also read and research. Why this your self-determination becomes a death sentence to indigenous people? Why this your so-called self-determination becomes prison to a black man? Because our purely understanding with all that is going on, that all that we are seeing today is what? That self-determination is only work for you as white people. But for the black people, that law you brought out, first one, in the year of 1514, submit to amendment in the year of 1541, first. Second amendment in 1960. So in your amendment, you write another law on another document that you always introduce to the African people. That the self-determination of the African people, when they are seeking for a new country under succession, that's one of the three criteria you dish out, that you said that internal and external. That external is succession, that people are going to use it to form or to have a new country on their own under secession. That secession simply means fully outright of independency from existing country that are marginalizing the people, that are killing the people, that are continuously performing genocide that is going on today in Nigeria. That Biafran people, we have started witnessing the genocide in the hands of Britain in 1905 to 1914. Because when they come, they take down first. Britain entered in 1804. They first studied Fulani's jihadist movement and what they represent. And the British, under your self-determination, you endorse the so-called Osman Dan Fodio ideology and the powered Fulani jihadists in their own tradition, in their own culture, in their own belief. You supported them fully and give them power. This power you give them today is what is killing, is what is causing the genocide that is going on. Because you, Britain, after you have studied, you try, you are the first person who removed the emir of the so-called Sokoto Caliphate and puts your own governor to manage them. And when you see that you cannot be able to manage them, you advise them. You now, in that time, you set your eyes on Eastern region, of old Eastern region. You set your eyes in there, and what happened? Oh, there is something they have. Oh, there is something they have, and our interest is in that their mineral resources. The economy is what we needed from them. So you that is here, we are not going to tamper your law. We are not going to tamper your religion. We are not going to change your tradition. But you will help us. We will equip you. We will bring military. We will bring ammunition. We will give it to you. You will join us. Now, before you come and join us, allow us to use 5 or 8 or 10 years to go and study their tradition and what they believe and where their power is coming from. You now come, you started from Aroshuku Ndizog. Start study. Try to, if you can conquer the Aroshuku and destroy the oracle that are protecting the Biafran people and also the Benin Abia. When you went into all this, you take your time to study. As you are studying, you are buying arms and giving to French jihadists and keep some of your men that you brought from the Irish, from the so-called British, all that enterprise of British, you brought them down. So when you study, you try, you fought the warriors of Ekumeku warrior. It takes you 7 years to destroy the warriors of Ekumeku warrior and to destroy and take our own power and destroy it and take it to your side and tell us that it is very bad, that it is evil. And also, whenever you want to see a white man paint Satan, he will paint it in the color of black. Is it not true? They will paint it in the what? In the color of what? Black. When they paint this color of black, they condemn a black man. But when you want to paint Christ, you paint it in your own color, white. These are we take time to observe before we come. We take time to observe before we come. The observation proved to us that you fought the Ekumeku warriors maximum 7 years. After you conquered them, after you used Fulani jihadis and betrayers from Edi Abani, Asred Okubo's father, to destroy the roads of Ekumeku in Asaba or in Ahaba today, the people that claim south, when you use your arm, your militaries, your ammunition, your armor tanker, your equipment to destroy these warriors in 1913 November, then January 1914 you conduct your so-called amalgamation. So when we go down through the history lane, we find out where our problem is. That is why we will never forgive Britain. In my next generation to come, they will never forgive Britain. You see, London, we will never forgive them because they are the one who openly blocked Biafra international recognition, that denied Ojukwu freedom, that under self-determination, that he fought for his people. And they did what? They destroyed it. And you are the one in these your articles and documents that made us to understand that people have a right to form, to have their own country and their own governor. With only all that you are doing, with all this atrocity, with all this evil and the killings, and you have the British has encouraged Fulani jihad to kill Biafran people, to kill the warriors of Ekumeku warrior and burn down their houses starting from 1905 to 1913, before the amalgamation of 1914. All this that you have showed them is what they are proving out today. That is what they are using on us today. That is why there is serious ongoing killing. When you come, you did not kill, you did not fight for any jihad. You go into agreement with them and have a contract being signed with them. But when you come to the Biafran people, when you come to the old eastern region, you never sign any agreement with us. Never. You never address anything to us except by force. You started it by killing Biafran people first in the old Eastern region. Because when we go back to search in the history of who we are before the amalgamation, that is where you will see all that I'm saying. And in all this UN charter has been implemented. This self-determination has been implemented. So the self-determination of the Biafran people or people from the old Eastern region is to wipe them away. That is why we are asking, is there any other UN charter article that you are using when it's come to these Biafran people? Please, we want to know. We want to know the other charter you are using, the other self-determination that means a death sentence to the people of the southeastern old region. People of Biafra. A God that fought a genocide, brutal war with Nigeria. Today, you still allow us. This self-determination is not working for us. If the self-determination is working, why did Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in prison, in Sokoto prison, the most dangerous prison in a place they are practicing Sharia law? That they send a Christian, a Judaism man who is fighting for, who used secession to fight for independence of fully outright of their own, of his own people, under this your self-determination. When you came, your self-determination gives life and power to Fulani jihadis in 1804. Then in 1905 to 1913, then this your self-determination brought death, intimidation, abuse of rights to the Biafran people that live in old Eastern region, because it was after the amalgamation that Biafra marched. True or false? So when we bend down to research and find out this your so-called well-respect, well-meaningful self-determination that only work for you and you white people, that's why we're asking you a question. Why is that the self-determination is a crime to a black man, precisely to the Biafran people? Please, we are asking questions. Want to know. Why is it? Why this self-determination that we introduced in the first year of 1514, you submit it into amendment in 1541. It wasn't enough. You submit it into amendment in 1960. Why that all this has never favored Biafran people? Why is all about determination of life in prison to the Biafran people? Why? So their self-determination is only for you. We are not only asking you to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are asking you that it's under must that now that Biafra has been redeclared on November 29, 2024, that you must recognize us. If you refuse, we have no option to have our country like Kosovo and every other countries in the world that are not member of the UN. Afghanistan are they a member of the UN after they fought America. But today, Russia have recognized them as a country. In January 2025, they got recognition from Russia as one of their own. Then what stops Israel to be a first country to recognize Biafra as a country? Because if Israel recognized Biafra as a Christian country, it will draw attention of America, because they work hand in hand. We are asking Israel Prime Minister or their President Netanyahu, why are you not recognizing their fellow Christians? Why are you not backing them up? Why are you not supporting them? Why are you acting like, despite that, yes, we are facing problems, when you are into war, our Prime Minister, Man Simon Ekpa, reads to you and you receive it and ask him thank you, that Biafran people will send over 15 million or 15,000, sorry, 15,000 full soldiers to you to back you up. Why are you never back Biafra up till today? So this self-determination is only for you. So it simply means that self-determination is only for you. But on this junction, our line is open. Please, in case if anybody want to call on WhatsApp, the number to call is plus 973360513337. In case if you want to call to also put your voice to ask them question, the right or those that self-determination was being meant for. That's what we are asking. And in the court of Nigeria High Court, James Omotosho said that Nigeria law supersedes self-determination. Why that all countries are under UN Charter and Articles. I call the number again. Plus 973360513337. We are asking immediate release, immediate recognition of Biafra, because you will not release Mazi and the Kanu in the hands of Nigeria without recognizing Biafra as a country to stop further arrest. Because when he come out, he will never stop until his people has independence of their own full country called United States of Biafra. We must continue. Our line is open in case you want to join us. You can on that number, only on WhatsApp. Please, as you join me, please like and share the program. The like is too poor. We have over more than 2,000 viewers, but we have only 14 likes. It does not take anything from you to like a program. It just, that is, if you're first time coming across the page, there is 3 work you have to do, and all of them is just touch. No one will take a time for you. You will see a 3 dot in front of you. In that 3 dot in front of, just click on that 3 dots. Then what will happen? You will see like and share. After you have shared, when you are sharing, it will lead you to what? It will lead you to subscribe. Then subscribe and join us. Come here, call on our phone. If there's one we have forgotten, bring it up. It was not meant only for me. In my little capacity, that is why I'm doing this. Because I want to ask questions why self-determination is not for Biafran people. That you call it secession. Why this your self-determination is not working for us? Why this uncontinuously genocide that is happening and the world you are muting, you are keeping away? Rather, if you want to interview those in that areas, you will go and interview the Fulani jihadist man. That is what we see you white man is doing. The same way you are sponsoring them. So your self-determination to me is what? That is why Biafran people has made a declaration for us to govern ourselves, because these killings are happening. This genocide, this massacre that is going, this kidnapping, this abuse of rights, this intimidation, and all this is happening because indigenous people are not the one protecting their border. But when we are on our own, like when we partition ourselves in the way India partition themselves, when we have our fully outright countries, that the indigenous people who has one region belief, who has one ideology, who eat the same food, who put on the same dressing, who dance the same kind of music come together. They will use their love and protect their border. Nigeria border is being protected in the hands of this Fulani jihad. If Biafra is a country, I will protect my border. Nobody will come in to kill my people. If Oduduwa is a country, nobody will come in to do what? To from that border. Once you see that person that you and him are not wearing the same even common clothes, you are not speaking the same language, you must do what? You must question and arrest that person and put him where he belongs. Then you will chase him away. So they will not come in, they will not penetrate. But because of that, Nigeria is a country from the amalgamation of 1914. British handed Nigeria over to Fulani to Islamize everybody. They will start from somewhere. I played you 2 days ago a document of the history, the secret of the Fulani, that Nigeria was being given to them by their own Allah of jihad. That Nigeria is their own. Who make it possible for them is Britain. Britain make it possible for that their history to start manifesting today. That is the people that make it possible. So, in this self-determination as a right of people, under this on secession with self-determination that is a right of the people, with the crime that Britain committed is unacceptable. You see, all these killings, all this bad government was what Britain planted in 1914. Then the only way to stop this genocide is what? The only way is Biafra become a country, protect their border. Oduduwa becomes a country, protect their border. Arewa becomes a country and protect their border. Do you know that because of British saw this when they came in 1904, they sit down with Fulani Jihadist Caliphate, Sokoto Caliphate, and had an agreement, and they planned their strategies, and also endorsed Fulani Jihad that they are the owners of Nigeria. Now, after they have endorsed these people, these Fulani Jihadists, as the owner of Nigeria, what happened? They came down to us and start fighting us from time immemorial. So, what am I saying? That the only solution to what is happening in Nigeria is not only designating Nigeria as a country of particular concern. No. Because if Donald Trump designates Nigeria as a country of particular concern, if the rules or the principle of being a president is that he will go for 8 years, after his 8 years, like what happened before, in Donald Trump's first tenure, he sanctioned Nigeria. Nigeria bought Tucano jet from America. And there is Lehi agreement between America and Nigeria government that you will not use this Tucano jet to bomb people in the eastern region, in the where we call now Biafra. In this old eastern region, where they call Southeast today, in the divide and rule of Britain, what happened? The Lehi agreement is that this Tucano jet will never fly in this zone. When Donald Trump is in office as the president of America, this Tucano jet did not fly one day to the eastern region. What happened? They did not use it to work. They did not even use it to bomb the Boko Haram. They kept it. And Nigeria was one of the countries who sponsored those who will remove Donald Trump and bring Joe Biden that Obama is pushing to continue the Islamization agenda, to Islamize the Christians. Joe Biden and Obama, they are all Muslims. Do you know that? So they want to continuously put in people that will represent and stop Christians. That is why all of them contribute and bring idea of kidnapping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, and on 20th of November 2025, they give him the sentence in life imprisonment and put Simon by imprisonment also. Those that will bring Biafran people out from the so-called death sentence called One Nigeria. Now let us continue in what we are saying, what we are narrating this evening, or this night, or this month, depending on your time and your location. There is one that we have to understand again. So in this history of Nigeria and British and amalgamation and removing Donald Trump, now, when they remove Donald Trump, Joe Biden uplift Nigeria from that sanction. They start using this Tukuna fighter jet to bomb Biafra land. When I was in the homeland, I witnessed it by myself. And why they removed Donald Trump? They removed him because he is the one that put an end. He breaks the yoke of Islamizing many countries in the world, because he is a core Christian who God used to prove that he is God. But God, we want to let you know that Donald Trump never also proved to the Biafran people that you are the God who put him in position to serve your people. So now, if Donald Trump puts Nigeria on designation of a country of particular concern, what of after these 4 years, next 4 years, he's not going to be there? Then, you know, they have two parties in America, from this side or from the other side. What of if someone who is going to come is to maintain what Joe Biden left, to remove Nigeria on a country of a particular concern? Then what will happen? They will continue from where they stop. That is why, in my own understanding, a country of a particular concern is not a everlasting solution to what is happening in Nigeria today. The everlasting solution of Nigeria is disintegration of Nigeria. People should go according to their tribal line and their religion and their ideology and protect their border. You will see that all this genocide will stop. And do you know why they don't want it to stop? Because Fulani jihadist Caliphate of Sokoto will only remain in that Sokoto area. Those 12 countries, those 12 states in Nigeria, they have captured. Today, where they put my president, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a Christian person for that matter, is where Sharia law is being implemented. In 1804, Sharia law has been implemented in the north. You see this Sokoto, that is where everything began. You see Zamfara, these areas was from time of immemorial practicing. When British come, they are practicing Islamization. They are practicing Sharia law. British no. When they see that practicing Sharia law will give them power to overthrow every indigenous person, then they have this secret document agreement with them. That's what is important to us, is that we have incited, we have seen that there is mineral resources in the old eastern region, that we are going to be in control of it. Then we allow you to Islamize. We will not interfere. Or even if you are killing them, we will never sanction you. We will never condemn you. Have you seen Britain condemn this movement that is happening in Nigeria today? Tell me, have you seen any video where Britain Parliament stand up and destroy and also sanction Nigeria? They could not, because it's an agreement. If British in their UK Parliament, in London Parliament, he rose up and sanctioned Nigeria. The Fulani jihadis that had an agreement with them know that they have laid pipe of oil, crude oil from Imo State. They have passed Morocco today. They see that these people are so violent, that they have monopoly of violence, that they will burst the pipe. That is why they will never, because of that secret agreement, that they will never attack or put any restriction on Nigeria or to come out and condemn Nigeria in what is going on today. If they try, the agreement will be broke up and they will no longer take the oil anymore. That is why you are seeing all that is going on today, and UK, London, British cannot utter a word against Nigeria. Do you know that London, British, UK, whatever, that they are the one that's giving Nigeria the highest aid to use, to sponsor, to give French jihadist equipment that they are using today? Nigeria is a country that will borrow money to sponsor Fulani jihadists. The agenda is that they want to marginalize. They already told you that you are infidel, that their so-called Allah of jihad handed them over Nigeria. Who handed them over Nigeria is Britain. That is why they put them in all various positions in Nigeria. Go and verify. In all the vital positions, they are there. They are in control. They are in charge. I want our people to understand what we are passing through. That is not start today. That when you remove your hatred and come back and join United States of Biafra, that is the everlasting solution that will end on this ongoing genocide that is happening right now. Only the recognition of United States of Biafra as a sovereign state fully on the international global community is what will end this. That is the everlasting solution Donald Trump needs to endorse. Donald Trump, you're a good man. You are fighting a cold fight for the freedom of the people. But the solution is what you have brought to your office. That Biafra recognition. That now we have met all the existing criteria of the Montevideo Convention of 1933. That we also use the template of the Montevideo Convention, your UN Charter, Geneva Convention of 1949, and also the Vienna Convention of 1978. Now that we have met all these criteria, we are only asking all this world, all these countries that tag their name here, to recognize United States of Biafra as everlasting solution. Call people of Oduduwa, give them what they want, Arewa on their own, then Middle Belt, whatever anybody wants, so we can be free. When a Middle Belt man is protecting his border, tell me, how could someone fly and come to his room and kill him? This is a truth that has called for an answer that we all must adhere towards it. Please, if you're first time coming, please like and share the program. Touch the like button. There is a 3 dot in front of you on your phone. Click on that 3 dot. It will open. You will see like and share. Please endeavor to do that. We want you to tell us that self-determination is it a crime for black man to seek to have a new country with self-determination? That's what we are asking the world. That is why we tag all these countries that are world powers today, and those Christian countries. That is why we are asking them. That is why we are asking them questions. That is why we want to know what is our crime. The self-determination of secession for a fully independent of a new country. Is it a crime? How does it become a crime that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is fighting to liberate his people, with this your so-called self-determination of 1514, 1541, and 1960, or sorry, 1960. Why is it becomes a crime that is not working on behalf of the Biafran people? We are asking these questions. We demand an answer. We want to know what is our crime. So the only where this secession, this your so-called self-determination in the UN Charter, they only work for the white people. Because if it's work for us, after this genocide war that all of you place your head down on it, play blind eyes, a deaf ear, and dumb mouth, that all of you are pretending that you don't know about it. Is it not enough to recognize the people of Biafra, to console their hearts? For us to defend our border, that nobody will come to kill us anymore. Biafran people defending their border will stop the kidnapping, the ongoing genocide that is happening in all over Nigeria. We will assist those indigenous people, because when their border is safe, our own border is also safe. But when their border is not safe, we are not safe. So Donald Trump, yes, putting Nigeria on a country of attack on sign, it is the first step. But that is not the everlasting solution. The everlasting solution is under self-defense. Allow me to have my own country, to defend my life. According to what your ex-vice president did in the Ukraine and the Russia war. For how many years that Biafran people, that this, okay, we have come across that there is nothing like how many decades or how many years that Biafra will fight under self-determination before they become a country. Why so much hatred on the Biafran people? Why so much racism on the Biafran people? Why? That the entire world, why Russia is remaining silent, and you are the world recognize Afghanistan? Why Israel is making racism on the Biafran people? This is a question that we are asking. We want to know why. He said it's a right of the people under self-determination, under secession, for them to do what? To have their own country. That is their right. That is the freedom of the people. To do what? To have their right. Why is that when we want to have this right, you bring intimidation, you sentence all our people, you sentence our leaders like Mazen Nandekano, Mas Simon Ekpa. These are those that has fight with self-determination to protect their people about this ongoing genocide that is happening. We want the world to know that Biafran people will remain resolute. Sentencing Mazen Nandekano will not stop us from having our own country. Sentencing Mazen Nandekano and Simon Ekpa, we will never. As you are keeping them, 1,001 of Mazen Simon and Mazen Nandekano is out there, standing strong. We are not going to go back. Rather, we will continue letting the world to hear about us. Now, listen fully to the criteria of this particular UN Charter. They set out criteria. They put out criteria that people are going to use to have their own country. Now, check. After we have gone through all these criteria, why these our leaders like Mazen Nandekano, Simon Ekpa, why are they in prison? Is my question to you. If the self-determination is for the black people or is for the Biafran people. Let's listen to this.
The criteria for self-determination are not codified as a simple checklist in international law, but rather emerge from the UN Charter, General Assembly resolutions, like Resolution 1514-15 and 1541-15.
Do you hear it? The resolution of this law was 1514 and the what? 1541 and amended again in 1960. Let's continue listening.
Customary international law. The right applies to peoples and has two main dimensions: internal, autonomy within a state, and external, full independence, secession. People. The right to self-determination accrues only to a defined people, not simply a minority group or an association of individuals. While not strictly defined, a group claiming this right must generally demonstrate common identity, a shared identity based on factors such as a common historical tradition, racial or ethnic identity, cultural homogeneity, linguistic unity, religious or ideological affinity, or a common economic life. Territorial connection, a defined or established link to a specific territory. Consciousness/will, the group must have the will to be identified as a people, or the consciousness of being a people, often demonstrated through common institutions or political movements. 2. The context, internal versus external self-determination. International law strongly favors internal self-determination and the principle of territorial integrity of existing states. External self-determination, secession, is only considered legitimate under specific, limited circumstances. A. Internal self-determination, most common. This is the standard expectation and the preferred outcome under international law. Definition: the right of a people to freely determine their political status and pursue their economic, social, and cultural development within the framework of an existing sovereign state. Realization: this is often realized through political participation, autonomy, representative government, protection of minority rights and cultural rights, and the right to freely dispose of their natural wealth and resources. B. External self-determination, exceptional circumstances. This refers to the right of a people to full independence or secession, and is generally limited to 3 historical contexts. Criteria for external self-determination. Description: colonial context. Peoples of territories separated by geographic or ethnic factors from the country administering them, e.g., former colonies. This was the primary focus of UN Resolutions 1514 and 1541. Alien/foreign occupation. Peoples under military occupation by a foreign state, e.g., occupation of one state's territory by another. Saltwater test exception. In some interpretations, the right is reserved for groups separated by saltwater from the administering power, though this test is losing relevance. Remedial secession. Controversial. A debated criterion for groups within a sovereign state who are subject to extreme systematic oppression, gross and systematic violations of human rights, or are denied any form of meaningful internal self-determination or representation. This is seen as a last resort when a state has failed its duty to its people. 3. The process.
Now, let us hang it here a little bit. When what? This is seen as a last resort when a state has failed its duty to its people. Nigeria, is it never failed all his duty to the people? Nigeria is not a failed state. Have they never failed to protect their so-called claimed citizens? On this is why Biafran people make a declaration of United States of Biafra on November 29, 2024. On this, and on this, that Mazdan Kanu is fighting under this self-determination, that he was kidnapped from Kenya and brought him back to Nigeria and give him life imprisonment. Then, that is why we are asking, how could this happen? And you are talking about UN will be openly and talking about self-determination. Destroy your UN charter. It is evil. Destroy it. Let people do on their own. Don't think you are controlling. I'm controlling. I'm on top. And you are using intimidation and secession on the people. You are playing tribal color to us. You are doing all manner of evil to us with the UN charter. When people facing swords, systematic oppressor, glorious and systematic violation of human rights, and denied any form of meaningful internal self-determination or representation, that the last thing they will do when they are facing this thing is to form a new country, to declare a new country. This is your loss, starting from 1514 to 1541 to 1960. And today, When people talk about self-determination, it becomes a crime. The only thing you know how to do is to arrest us, prison us. That is why we said that we want our prime minister, Master pass through with what my president, Master Kanu, is going through right now. This self-determination of the UN Charter is a fraud. UN Charter self-determination is what? Purely fraud. Your so-called UN Charter is not working for us. Your self-determination is only for you, white-collar people. Because evidence of what you did to Russia and Ukraine is evidence that we're having our hand on it. In Biafra War in 1967 to 1970, we fought for maximum 3 years without your support, without you calling for ceasefire. But how many years did Russia and the Ukraine fought, and you go and put ceasefire on them? We are asking you, what is our offense? Amina Mohammed. Amina Mohammed, what is our offense that your so-called self-determination becomes a crime to us when we use it? What is our offense? What is our crime? That we are black people. I am a Biafran. That is my. Whenever our people use self-determination, you give us 3 criteria. You said secession. When people face words, extremely systematic oppressor, glorious and a systematic violation of a human right, or denied any form of meaningful internal self-determination, that the last option, the last resort is for them to form a new country. What is our offense? It's not working for us. If UN Charter under self-determination article that was introduced to the world in the year 1514, 1541, 1960, if it is true, why is Simon is in prison in Finland? Why is Mazen Khan is sentenced to life in prison and sent to one of the most deadly prisons in the world, where they are practicing jihad, where Haram is, where they are practicing jihad, where they are practicing Sharia law is where they sent him under your self-determination. Your self-determination is not working for a black man. From 1967 to 2025, it never favored us for one day. And you are presenting you are in charge. US, America, Donald Trump, putting Nigeria on a country sign is good, but that is not the everlasting solution. The everlasting solution for you is to give Biafran people recognition. Then we will end this ongoing genocide, and nobody will kill us again. And my leader is in prison. In a place they press Sharia law is where they put him. They have systematically Islamized him because he was the man who exposed all the plans of Britain, all your secret documents with Fulani Jihad. What is our offense? Why your so-called self-determination becomes a crime to a black race? Why you put restriction on it? Why there is racism on it? Vietnam and the Cuba, how many times do they go into you rush in there because they are white color, but I am a black man? God will punish all the colors that are doing this to us. You will never go scot-free. We will give you back to sender. That's what we're experiencing. One day, you must experience it and you must witness it. So you will feel the pain that you has caused to us with their so-called ruling authorities. Israel is there keeping mute. But Russia rushed to recognize Afghanistan. And this Russia is a member of the UN. Russia is one of the most world 5 power. Russia is among the world 5 power. The world five power, they said that they should not interfere on the recognition of a country until another country brings them in to become a member of the UN. And that they should not vote. That in this year UN Charter, you said that none of these five countries will vote for a country to become a what? To go and recognize a new country. But Russia did it. And you people are not saying anything. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa, they are all in prison because of they've exercised their right on the self-determination. That ex-Vice President of America, when he speak on the summit in the Ukraine war with Russia, he said, "Is your inalienable right." When it's come to white collar, it becomes your right. When it's come to black man, it's no longer a right of the people. Rather, it becomes a crime. It becomes a prison to us. That is why Nigeria will betray. That is why Nigeria will break all the laws, international laws, and to the sign. And went so the way to Kenya and kidnap a man. Today, sentence that man in front of all of this your law. Sentence to life imprisonment and send him in a Sharia law state. God, come on, Israel, come and visit all of you, one way or the other. Come and visit all the bodies of you and who refuse to recognize Biafra, who refuse to end this impunity, who are getting gain into killings of the citizens, the indigenous people. Everywhere is bleeding. We must continue.
Methods of realization. UN General Assembly Resolution 1541, 1960, specifies 3 legitimate ways a non-self-governing territory can exercise its right to self-determination.
Okay.
1. Emergence as a sovereign independent
No,
state.
they will exercise the right. This non-new country, they will exercise it in prison. When it comes to a black man, they will exercise their own in prison. But you will be in your room, in your house, enjoying and exercising that right. Why this right is only for you is our question. Why self-determination is a crime to Biafran people, starting from 1967 to 2025? Why is it like that? If it is true that you are this, that's why I ask you, is there any other UN charter that you are using? Is it the one for black people, for Africa, for Biafran people? And is it another different one from Ukraine, from people of Vietnam, from people of Cuba, from any other countries in the world? Why did this law becomes 2? It's our question. Then if it is not, prove us otherwise. If it is not, prove us otherwise. We stand to be corrected. And the only way we start to be corrected is that when you recognize Biafran people to go and exercise this self-determination and release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you have the power. All these countries, continents that are there, inside Commonwealth, inside UN, inside AU, inside African organization, all of you have power. No one to in Nigeria. They will release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, set him free within 42 hours, and you are keeping silent. And you are respecting territorial integrity, that are killing indigenous people, that are committing suicide, that are committing haram by killing people that are sleeping in their rooms every day, chasing the indigenous people away from their ancestral home. What is our offense? That we are human beings, that God put us where we have mineral resources. And because of our mineral resources, that is why you want to wipe us away. But God still continue proving to you that you will never wipe Biafran people away. No matter how hard it is, we must survive. And this 21st century era, we have come to take our freedom in our hand. We are no longer waiting for you. You must go to hell with your UN Charter of self-determination.
2. Free association with an existing independent state. 3. Integration with an existing independent state.
Is on where the 3 criteria that leads to what? Secession. The 3 ways you can agitate for a new country. After, because I was talking, after this, I will play. So you will listen to those three criteria and choose what is our offense. That Biafra has never become a country from 1967 to 2025.
State. In all cases, the decision must be the result of the freely expressed wishes of the people acting, with full knowledge of the consequences, often expressed through an impartial democratic process like a plebiscite or referendum.
You know one thing, that lies are good in English. You see how the voice is sweet. But when it's come to prove this voice real, is it working? Is it working at all to the indigenous people? I am asking the questions. I will not say a word. Listen again. What are the criteria for self-determination? Listen.
The criteria for self-determination are not codified as a simple checklist in international law, but rather emerge from the UN Charter, General Assembly resolutions, like Resolution 1514-15 and 1541-15, and customary international law. The right applies to peoples and has two main dimensions: internal, autonomy within a state, and external, full independence, secession. 1. The criterion of a people. The right to self-determination accrues only to a defined people, not simply a minority group or an association of individuals. While not strictly defined, a group claiming this right must generally demonstrate common identity, a shared identity based on factors such as a common historical tradition, racial or ethnic identity, cultural homogeneity, linguistic unity, religious or ideological affinity, or a common economic life. Territorial connection, a defined or established link to a specific territory. Consciousness/will. The group must have the will to be identified as a people, or the consciousness of being a people, often demonstrated through common institutions or political movements. 2. The context. Internal versus external self-determination. International law strongly favors internal self-determination and the principle of territorial integrity of existing states. External self-determination, secession, is only considered legitimate under specific, limited circumstances. A. Internal self-determination, most common. This is the standard expectation and the preferred outcome under international law. Definition: the right of a people to freely determine their political status and pursue their economic, social, and cultural development within the framework of an existing sovereign state. Realization: this is often realized through political participation, autonomy, representative government, protection of minority rights and cultural rights, and the right to freely dispose of their natural wealth and resources. B. External self-determination, exceptional circumstances. This refers to the right of a people to full independence or secession, and is generally limited to three historical contexts. Criteria for external self-determination. Description: colonial context. Peoples of territories separated by geographic or ethnic factors from the country administering them, e.g., former colonies. This was the primary focus of UN Resolutions 1514 and 1541. Alien/foreign occupation. Peoples under military occupation by a foreign state, e.g., occupation of one state's territory by another. Saltwater test exception. In some interpretations, the right is reserved for groups separated by saltwater from the administering power, though this test is losing relevance. Remedial secession. Controversial. A debated criterion for groups within a sovereign state who are subject to extreme systematic oppression, gross and systematic violations of human rights, or are denied any form of meaningful internal self-determination or representation. This is seen as a last resort when a state has failed its duty to its people. 3. The process. Methods of realization. UN General Assembly Resolution 1541, 1960, specifies three legitimate ways a non-self-governing territory can exercise its right to self-determination. 1. Emergence as a sovereign independent state, independence. 2. Free association with an existing independent state. 3. Integration with an existing independent state. In all cases, the decision must be the result of the freely expressed wishes of the people acting, with full knowledge of the consequences, often expressed through an impartial democratic process like a plebiscite or referendum.
I hope you listen carefully and you understand it. They even bring out three criteria. They bring out things that when these things are happening, that people will use, they call it what? Secession. Free secession, with an existing independent state. As Nigeria is an independent state that they are protecting the total integrity, you are the one who make us understand that we have a right to move out from Nigeria. This is what the place will stand. This is number 2. This is second option after first. Imagine something that is second option is not a very vital, important something. Why? The question is it, why is it not working for the Biafran people? Is my question. Why this self-determination and all these criteria that has happened to us, the world is shying away, and my president Mazan Kano has been put into life sentence and send him to the Sharia law prison because he's a Christian. On this junction, our line is open for phone calls in case if anybody want to call. The number to call is +97333605137 only on WhatsApp, please. Again, +97333605137. Now, and all these criteria they bring out under self-determination, is it anyone that has never happened to Biafran people? My people, under this their so-called self-determination and all the criteria they bring out here, both A, both B, on section 1, section 2, section 3, they bring out here. We are asking this question. Please, if you're in the comment section, all these that you had here right now on this document, I want to ask you this question. All these things, have they never happened to Biafran people? I want if somebody is following and somebody understands this document we read right now. Please, all these that we have come out here for Biafran people, did all this has it never happened to us? Because when I go through this, they are useless claiming self-determination that only work for white people, that doesn't work for me. That's when it's going to Mazen Nandika, doesn't work for him. When it's going to Master Simon, it doesn't work for him. When it's going to every Biafra liberation, every Biafra minute, it doesn't work for them. We are asking questions. All these that you had here today, whether you are one Nigeria, are you not passing through this? Whether you are one Nigeria, are you not passing these particular things that you had here of human rights abuse, intimidation, insecurity, killing, kidnapping, genocide? Is it not over happening in Nigeria? I want somebody to join me to answer, please. Now, as we are going to explain more deep on this, I want to pay attention. Remember that I will open our phone call in case if you decide to call us. Thank you so much. You are James. You are the only person who is here who understand this document. Really, we have overpassed through this. It's happening to us in a way that has never happened anywhere before. And because of his only James that answered this question, that is proof that he's here, I will see play this voice again without saying a word. So you won't see it that because of his fighting for Biafra and he's making everything to come to his favor. No, I don't do that. Listen.
The criteria for self-determination are not codified as a simple checklist in international law, but rather emerge from the UN Charter, General Assembly resolutions, like Resolution 1514-15 and 1541-15, and customary international law. The right applies to peoples and has two main dimensions: internal, autonomy within a state, and external, full independence, secession.
Remember, external, fully independency, secession. Remember what they said here. External, fully independency, secession. Why our own secession? Why our own this we are law on our own side? Once we move, next thing is that they are terrorists. Why? They are committing treason, felony. Why? So that simply means that this is not true now. If under this section that you said that is fully independency, external secession of people pulling out from existing country because of your so-called law that proving that things that the criteria of you to have a new country. What is our crime? That we are black people. What is our crime? Because we have mineral resources in our region. What is our problem? What is our crime? Our crime is that we are talking. We have two eyes like you. What is our problem? What is our crime? Yes, it's so painful because we are black from Africa. And our crime is that this your self-determination on us is because we have what all of you are looking for. So the only way you will take it is to turn this attention of this your law of self-determination to become intimidation to us, to become a crime that once we use it, we enter inside prison. Child, Africa must rise up to defend themselves.
1. The criterion of a people. The right to self-determination accrues only to a defined people, not simply a minority group or an association of individuals. While not strictly defined, a group claiming this right must generally demonstrate common identity, a shared identity based on factors such as a common historical tradition, racial or ethnic identity, cultural homogeneity, linguistic unity, religious or ideological affinity, or a common economic life. Territorial connection, a defined or established link to a specific territory. Consciousness/will, the group must have the will to be identified as a people, or the consciousness of being a people, often demonstrated through common institutions or political movements. 2. The context, internal versus external self-determination. International law strongly favors internal self-determination and the principle of territorial integrity of existing states. External self-determination, secession, is only considered legitimate under specific, limited circumstances.
Before that, remember one thing. Today, James Omatosho has proved to the world that Nigeria law supersede UN Charter. That is why he said that UN Charter of Self-Determination is a crime in Nigeria.
Internal self-determination, most common. This is the standard expectation and the preferred outcome under international law. Definition: the right of a people to freely determine their political status and pursue their economic, social, and cultural development within the framework of an existing sovereign state. Realization: this is often realized through political participation, autonomy, representative government, protection of minority rights and cultural rights, and the right to freely dispose of their natural wealth and resources. B. External self-determination, exceptional circumstances. This refers to the right of a people to full independence or secession, and is generally limited to three historical contexts. Criteria for external self-determination. Description: colonial context. Peoples of territories separated by geographic or ethnic factors from the country administering them, e.g., former colonies. This was the primary focus of UN Resolutions 1514 and 1541. Alien/foreign occupation. Peoples under military occupation by a foreign state, e.g., occupation of one state's territory by another. Saltwater test exception. In some interpretations, the right is reserved for groups separated by saltwater from the administering power, though this test is losing relevance. Remedial secession. Controversial. A debated criterion for groups within a sovereign state who are subject to extreme systematic oppression, gross and systematic violations of human rights, or are denied any form of meaningful internal self-determination or representation. This is seen as a last resort when a state has failed its duty to its people. 3. The process. Methods of realization. UN General Assembly Resolution 1541, 1960, specifies 3 legitimate ways a non-self-governing territory can exercise its right to self-determination. 1. Emergence as a sovereign independent state, independence. 2. Free association with an existing independent state. 3. Integration with an existing independent state. In all cases, the decision must be the result of the freely expressed wishes of the people acting, with full knowledge of the consequences, often expressed through an impartial democratic process like a plebiscite or referendum.
Tell me what is our crime? Can someone tell me what is the crime? UN, what is the crime of Biafran people? Integration with existing independent states, which is Nigeria and what Biafran people are looking for. To integration, to bring Nigeria, divide Nigeria, let us go and protect our life. Is it not what the criteria you bring out for self-determination? Why do you put something that you cannot be able to control or to prove it or to manage it? Why do you put a law that only exists on the paper, on the action, zero? When it is a time to take this action, you play a deaf eyes, you play a blind eyes, a deaf ear to the Biafran people. We are asking you, what is our offense? Just because of we are black people. People has a right for free secession with an existing independent state in Nigeria. We Biafran people have our rights. When are we going to, this right is going to belong to us? We will take it by force. We are just playing with you. After our declaration, on November 29, 2025, we are going to celebrate our independence. After our independence celebration, we are going to change the game. We are going to change this your child's play with us. Then we will tell that we have educated ourselves enough. When you come, we will tell that Kosovo is a country. We will tell that Northern Cyprus is a country. We will tell that many countries in the world are a country, but we are only trying to prove how peaceful we are, that we are not violent like Nigeria. We are not violence like Nigeria. On this junction, we are going to show video of all that you have mentioned here, that when it happens to people, that the only option they have is to do what? Is to move away from those that are killing them by making a declaration of a new country, whether secession, whether integration, whether emergency sovereignty of independence of a state that you call independency. Once we have overmade this Montevideo criteria of 1933, a permanent population by you, a divine territory, effective government, capacity to enter into agreements and treaties and sign and become a member of UN. We have overmet these criteria. That is why you know that that is why Donald Trump will say that that UN is corrupt entity. That is what we are expressing today. But we will take the bull by its horn after our independency. After our first ever celebrating our independence, fully right of the people on this 21st century, going to happen on November 2029, November 20, 2024. All Biafrans that are under United States of Biafra, that is a solution to the inhuman treatment, to the ongoing genocide happening in Nigeria. After our fully celebration of our independence, we are going to change the game to the world, whether I like it or not. These are things that is happening to us. And all that you give out in a criteria of things that when we see them happening to us, in our two eyes open, that we should form our own country. Hey, I have a missed call, man. I don't even know. My phone is like my phone is silent. How? No, it's not silent. Hey, yeah. Please let us return this phone call first before we continue. If she may pick. Hello.
Oh, good evening,
Good
sir.
evening from here. Thank you so much. Sorry, I missed your call.
Yeah.
I say
I
let me
took a
return the
name
call.
alive for my memory.
Yeah, I'm still live. I'm still live.
Okay. I called. You didn't pick. I said, maybe it's the old one,
No, 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 no.
but I wasn't able to catch up.
No, this is a live program. Yes, we are here.
Okay. Okay. There was sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Enwere
so
n'otu
much.
ihe gbajiri dọrọ o nyere onye ọbụla ọnụ okwu.
Yeah, but we have to do something.
But o nyere onye ọbụla ọnụ okwu. In fact, we are crying. Tears. Tears could not. No. No. The suffering, intimidations, and shame is too much.
Yes.
It's too much. There is no even iota of to say that at least we call ourselves people that have stayed together. The kind of hatred. Oh, no, 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 no. No.
It's what Britain taught
It's
them to do to
unbearable.
us. Yeah, it's what is Britain that bring all this. But that is why we must fight our way out. The
It's unbearable.
only happiness of every Biafran is see this our declaration on November 24th, on November 20, 2024. That is the only solution. And that is what we sent mass. I hope you are following this
These
page.
people,
We are going to be free. We are going to be free.
these
No need to cry.
these people have humiliated us.
That is what.
In fact, they have delegated us to nothing.
That's why we are asking
We
questions.
became an object of caricature. I don't know the worst.
Hey, sorry. What's happened?
Sorry, I don't know whether.
No, I'm the one. Sorry, it's my hand. I wanted to remove something on the screen. Then my hand and touch cord. So go on. Sorry.
Okay. When I don't know, the worst trauma was when I heard that they taking him to Sokoto. I say Sokoto pa. Ken Gale Sokoto parana. Ahapụ ebe ndị nke ya nọ, at least that will reach him and everything. Buru nwoke mmadụ lawa Sokoto.
It's to Islamize him. So far, you don't want to agree. You don't want to receive anything we
It's
offer
not
you.
possible now.
It can never be. God
It's
is with
not
him.
possible.
God is with him, yes.
It's not possible. They cannot Islamize him. It's not possible.
They can't use Sharia law on him. Do you know that where they put Mazana and the can is where Usman Danfodio began from 1804, where they are pressing Sharia law from 1804 till today.
I wish I could turn the clock. Let Mazi come out of that place. If I know what, in fact, one of my colleagues, Auntie Ngozi, cried and met me. He was shedding tears.
Yeah,
He was shedding. He said I should console her. I should console her that she can't even sleep. She can't even sleep. She was saying, I don't know how he is. I don't know whether they have killed him. I don't know the kind of treatment. Yesterday night I could not sleep. I don't know. I just remember it. My head was so full. Head was so full.
Let me tell you, we must face reality. We must stand up for reality. The reality is do everything you can to support the United States of Biafra. Preach what can bring recognition to Biafra. Mazan can will be free. I never know, or I know it will go like that. When I start bringing histories of those who fought for independent country of their own people. It happens to Nelson Mandela. They sentenced him for life in prison. He spent 27 good days before he comes out. What of Jomo Kenyatta of Kenya? It happened to him. It happened to our people today. They rush to India. It happened to Maghandi of India. It happened to Rahman of Bangladesh. None of them died. They come outside. It's just that this is the first time it's happened to us. That is why I'm telling BIAFRANS, this is the time to be strong. Is turn your tears into a J and a gem. Give it to Biafran government to do the needful. What is holding them is money to defend our land. After this, our first ever, we are going to celebrate our independence on November 2024. After that, the game will change. A lot of things will come involved. Just let us be courage. Let us stop feeling down. The enemies want to bring you down. They want to do something that will make you to forget who you are. Do you know that in this world there is countries in this world that they have banned those that Islamize them. They ban that they will not speak their language. That is what agenda of the Usman Fojo is in Nigeria. That is why we must stand strong. Stand on the side of the government. Never you panic. Never you cry. Your cry should turn into a J and a Gemma by supporting this our declaration. That is only hope. Oh. The only hope of Mazen Nandeka. Remember, the day did not include that maybe after 25 years, 27 years, that he should appeal again. Remember that there is no such a thing. I hope you understand it clearly. That is only what going to appeal court might include. That okay, when he stays 25 years. Okay, Mazen Nandeka is about 50-something years. And you want him to stay 25 years before he can appeal, before he can come out. Then how many is left for him to leave as a human being? Do you understand it clearly? So that is why we must all channel our strength, our cry, our tears, support United of Biafra. They are doing wonderful. They are doing miracle. They are doing magic. Support USB fully with all your heart. Embrace that is the only solution of Mazen Nandeka, Simon. Do you know that they can pardon Mazen Nandeka tomorrow? In presidential pardon and rearrest him back again. Don't you know? But what will stop rearresting any of us back is our facial recognition once we support our government. This is where we're supposed to go. I am playing this history of the self-determination for the world to know that tell me all the things about this self-determination. Is it not what we are passing through today? And they told us that whenever you are experiencing such a thing, that the only option you have is what? That the only option you have is to go and do what? Declare a new country. That is the only option.
When it comes to a black person, an African person, the table turns around.
That is it.
When it comes to an African person, mostly an Igbo person, the table turns around. It was today that I heard from Yoruba media, it's a Yoruba person, I think. I heard how Tinubu negotiated with Boko Haram.
I want to play you video. I want to play. See, wait. I want to after your call. I want to play before you call. I wanted to play video of Tinubu's first son negotiating with Shetima and terrorist leaders inside fine room, and they're having AC and doing the negotiation.
Then how during Buhari, is it Buhari? Yes. How him and the northern elders and the leaders, they now came together and they agree on Tinubu taking the flag from Buhari, and that Tinubu now negotiate with these people, all those terrorists there, that if he wins, he's going to protect them. And he's going to give them everything they want. That is why everything that is happening in Nigeria, Tinubu is less concerned. He can't even capture them. He can't even jail them because he has negotiated, and that was why they gave him power.
That is the agreement.
That was why they gave him power.
It's like the same
agreement he had with them.
Yeah, it's secret. They call it secret agreement. That's what they have. That is what they have. That is why anybody.
I pray.
Anybody, you, my sister, the only option is not to cry, it's not I pray. Turn your prayer, support Biafra government with all your heart. For us to seek international recognition, all this will happen, all this will stop. This is how it has happened to. I've called 4 countries for you already. South Africa, Nelson Mandela.
These accounts, I don't know. I don't know the one that I normally use before. In fact, I don't even understand that account. Instead of them to give us a standard account, let us know the standard account so that we that are here, we have a direct standard account. When you post, you know where it's going to. There was the one that I collected from Ada Simon is ZFCMB. But me, I don't even understand.
Don't worry.
I don't understand.
I will forward you your account number, but the first thing is to locate your stage first. Me, I am sending.
I don't even know.
So you need a job. So I will after my program, give me a details of a voice note of where you from fully. Let me trace your account to you. From getting your account, then you will have a standard account that you are paying your money into.
Okay.
That is it. Be strong, go. Okay. This is be strong for Mazen Nandekan. Stop crying. He is not crying because he's not what he wants and what he's doing. And we must continue to be strong. The time we are into is only the recognition of Biafra will end our sufferness. Have it in your mind that always. Without recognition, Mazen Nandekan is going to come out. So please understand the time that we are into. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
We must continue.
Okay.
Biafran people, please, if you never like the program, please like the program, share it to any number that you can so they can join us, please. We are asking to share this program. If it's your first time coming, you will see a 3 dot in front of you. Click on that 3 dots. Then it will open. You will see like and share. Please endeavor. Please endeavor to do that. Now let us, as we have, okay, let us go back once again. Play this criteria of self-determination that UN present to us. After we play this self-determination of the UN, after playing it, then we play a video of how they are negotiating with terrorists, bandits, ASWAP, like Rawa, Boko Haram in Nigeria. I want to play this again for those who are just joining us, so you will know the topic that we are treating. Why self-determination is a crime when it comes to Biafran people. Why it's not working for us. That is the area we are. Listen to this.
The criteria for self-determination are not codified as a simple checklist in international law, but rather emerge from the UN Charter, General Assembly resolutions, like Resolution 1514-15 and 1541-15, and customary international law. The right applies to peoples and has 2 main dimensions: internal, autonomy within a state, and external, full independence, secession. 1. The criterion of a people. The right to self-determination accrues only to a defined people, not simply a minority group or an association of individuals. While not strictly defined, a group claiming this right must generally demonstrate common identity, a shared identity based on factors such as a common historical tradition, racial or ethnic identity, cultural homogeneity, linguistic unity, religious or ideological affinity, or a common economic life. Territorial connection, a defined or established link to a specific territory. Consciousness/will. The group must have the will to be identified as a people, or the consciousness of being a people, often demonstrated through common institutions or political movements. 2. The context. Internal versus external self-determination. International law strongly favors internal self-determination and the principle of territorial integrity of existing states. External self-determination, secession, is only considered legitimate under specific, limited circumstances. A. Internal self-determination, most common. This is the standard expectation and the preferred outcome under international law. Definition. The right of a people to freely determine their political status and pursue their economic, social, and cultural development within the framework of an existing sovereign state. Realization. This is often realized through political participation, autonomy, representative government, protection of minority rights and cultural rights, and the right to freely dispose of their natural wealth and resources. B. External self-determination, exceptional circumstances. This refers to the right of a people to full independence or secession, and is generally limited to 3 historical contexts. Criteria for external self-determination. Description. Colonial context. Peoples of territories separated by geographic or ethnic factors from the country administering them, e.g., former colonies. This was the primary focus of UN Resolutions 1514 and 1541. Alien/foreign occupation. Peoples under military occupation by a foreign state, e.g., occupation of one state's territory by another. Saltwater test exception. In some interpretations, the right is reserved for groups separated by saltwater from the administering power, though this test is losing relevance. Remedial secession. Controversial. A debated criterion for groups within a sovereign state who are subject to extreme systematic oppression, gross and systematic violations of human rights, or are denied any form of meaningful internal self-determination or representation. This is seen as a last resort when a state has failed its duty to its people. 3. The process. Methods of realization. UN General Assembly Resolution 1541, 1960, specifies 3 legitimate ways a non-self-governing territory can exercise its right to self-determination. 1. Emergence as a sovereign independent state, independence. 2. Free association with an existing independent state. 3. Integration with an existing independent state. In all cases, the decision must be the result of the freely expressed wishes of the people acting, with full knowledge of the consequences, often expressed through an impartial democratic process like a plebiscite or referendum.
I hope you had it all. And now this criteria that will lead you to have a new country. All these things, it's not happened to us. Are we not passing through all these things? Why this self-determination law becomes a crime for Biafran people? Why this becomes why is it not working for us? Why all these criteria that we have overmet that have happened to us is not enough for the world to look into our matter? For UN to intervene into Biafran issue after our declaration. The time has come. Let us see what is happening in Nigeria. Let us see. Let us start with this Tinubu's son, negotiating with the negotiation with the bandits from Tinubu's son. Let us see.
Nenu Sheikh Gumi na Sheikh Tinubu, our president anyị.
Look at
For
this.
Kanya na terrorist negotiators were no na akpa nkata. Mana ha kpọrọ Nnamdi Kanu onye na agitate for freedom of his people tinye n'ụlọ nga. What a country. Nenu Sheikh Gumi na Sheikh Tinubu, our president anyị. For Kanya na terrorist negotiators were no na akpa nkata. Mana ha kpọrọ Nnamdi Kanu onye na agitate for freedom of his people tinye n'ụlọ nga. What a country. Nenu Sheikh
This
Gumi
man is free
na
today.
Sheikh Tinubu.
Now watch what is going on here.
And
our
watch it.
government really need to look into this matter. Our brothers and sisters in Benue State are no longer sleeping in their houses again because of Fulani S-men. They are learning helter-skelter every blessed day. Just watch the video and see what I'm telling you.
Anywhere they go, they attack them.
Now, wow, do well to share the video so that our government will
So
see
tell me,
something about it.
UN that is
Now,
keeping
watch what is
silent,
going
that
on here.
introduced
Our government
self-determination for people. The self-determination is for Boko Haram. Those are committing this crime, killing the indigenous people. They are the one that UN Charter self-determination favored, because they are the one that with arms. But these citizens that are not with arms did not favor them. Rather, what's happened? They are all being killed every blessed day. See it again.
need to look into this matter. Our brothers and sisters in Benue State are no longer sleeping in their houses again because of Fulani S-men. They are learning helter-skelter every blessed day. Just watch the video and see what I'm telling you.
Are you hearing it?
Now, wow,
Those that is self-determination favored.
Bandit, they prepare.
Look at their prepare.
You prepare your own keep.
Their new machines are
So
coming
you
down
go
for
train
them.
before you wait the crime to come and meet you. You no go wait, make the crime come meet you before you go train. You go train and wait for them because they are preparing.
Look
and
at
they are
it.
everywhere in
Offloading
Nigeria.
foreign machine. New machines. Look at
Bandit,
it.
they prepare.
Do you know how much is this?
You prepare your own keep. So you go train before
And
you
you
wait
are
the crime
crying.
to come and meet
Instead
you.
of to prepare
You
to
no go
support the
wait,
government,
make
you want
crime
to
come
bring
meet
down,
you
you want
before
to
you
go.
train.
He
You go
doesn't.
train and wait for them because
Look
they
at
are-
them
they are
here.
self- they are
New
preparing.
machine.
And they are everywhere
Bajaj,
in Nigeria. Oga, who be this one for here? Na him be this? Na Fulani be this?
Are you hearing it? It's happening every day. Look at Fulani in TikTok.
Yes.
Fulani in TikTok. Look at those that are free, parading. And the man who is fighting under self-determination, Mazen Nandekano, is in prison.
Wickedness of our country now. Leave us alone.
Yes. Yes.
They come into TikTok asking people to open their video so they can be able to track them and kidnap them.
Oh, wicked.
That's all, let's go. Sit down, let's go. Oga, I'm not going to fire. Oga, don't tell me what I can do.
You hear it? When they see Fulani, the authority will say, cease fire, stop shooting Fulani.
Let's go. Sit down, let's go.
Because of what? The agreement. See them, they come. They now tell them, cease fire.
Oga, I'm not going to fire. Oga, don't tell me what I can do.
Do you hear it? Do you see it? This is what people are going through in Nigeria. This is the criteria that they told us when we see that we kill the people. Look at them everywhere in Nigeria, on top of the sea, everywhere. They are prepared. And you think that crying and calling Jesus will save you? One idiot come and he was telling me about United Africa. Biafra can never be united if Biafra is not a country. The unity of Africa is in the hands of Biafra. The unity of Africa to be one is in the hand of Biafra.
So you or more things they happen, oh, shine your eyes on and be vigilant. Nothing say you get on you, not say I don't want you. Nothing say one police or DSS they guard you. Nobody they protect you. You dey see video where they play for your screen. So this one are for inside Kwara. You dey see the kind big trailers where they carry foreigners enter inside Kwara. Only God knows where they come from. This incoming of foreigners, it don't be happy for decades. We Nigerians, we are so like a bicycle. Later we'll call the wonder where terrorists they come from. We'll call the wonder where bandits they come from, where kidnappers they come from. These foreigners, they don't even know our communities far better than us.
Do you see it?
This is no longer fun.
Do you know why it's like this? Because no indigenous person is protecting his border. That is why I am calling Donald Trump to understand that the only solution is to recognize Biafra, to disintegrate Nigeria totally, not to designate Nigeria on a particular concern. All that is in this that made America to put Nigeria on a particular concern is what we, the Biafran people, are going through. And under this UN Charter, they said, when you are passing through this, that the only last resort you have is to form a country of your own. Then when we try to form the country, they come against us. They tag us terrorists. They give us names to kill us. Under the self-determination that Mazen Kano is using, what happened? Today he's in prison. Look at Nigeria, it doesn't happen. You must go to church with gun. What of the pharmacies? Do you understand something?
This is how to be a good Christian as of today now in Nigeria.
This is how Israel be a good Christian. So, you see it? Look at them, Fulani, bandits. Look at enjoying, cruising in Nigeria. And Mazen Kano is in life sentence prison. Eh? Child. Look at it. They are increasing more and more and jubilating. When they bring their brothers with those kind of laws, then they will enter, they will pick up them, and they will train them, give them gun and bullets. This is what we are talking about. That is why it's Biafra or nothing. Please like and share the program. Look at Fulanis, look at them. Look at Boko, look at those that have come to Islamize you. Look at those that we have problem. Igbo man, Biafra is not your problem. But we are a solution. Donald Trump, Biafra recognition is the only solution that will end all this. We will protect and guide our border. Look at them. Look, are you not seeing it? Look at them. Are you not seeing this? Look at it. Look at them with their kind of machine that they are driving, with the kind of the armor, kind of the ammunition they equipped with. You are not going. After negotiating with them, they use one and go and buy a gun and come back.
Yeah, not them. Not them. For here now, they get one of their person where they escape and where they be say they tie their leg, they escape.
See how Boko Haram is doing live TikTok with people on TikTok.
In
Will
Nigeria.
You tell me that Nigerian government cannot track these people with their IP address?
They are the owner now. They are the owners of the country. So why are they going to track them?
In Nigeria, in Kogi, see that picture you are seeing there showing they are in Kogi state. We are gone. People in Kogi is no longer safe. Boko Haram.
What was the first of March in the camp? Look at the man they sent us.
Ihe ọjọọ emego n'obodo a, arụ emego, egbugo ndị be anyị, aka na-egbukwa anyị, anasị m na ọ ga-adị mma, oge ọ na-ekwekwu ka enwe mmekọrịta bụ nke ndị nnọkọ nke ndị ụmụnne.
Imagine.
Ha egosighị anyị ọtụtụ mgbe ha kpara anyị asị. Onye agajọ na-ajụ onwe ya.
No, sir.
Ha jụrụ anyị aja ama njụ onwe anyị, agbanyeghị na anyị nwe ngwa anyị n'ugwu Awụsa, agbanyeghị na a na-azụ ahịa ebe niile dị iche iche na-eme nke ọma, kama onye gara ndụ kpakụ, onye na-erie n'ihu. On the basic kind of group here.
Yes.
That's where back. No, but I go where mamma. Where carry over the Ocha, Namma.
That is why they sentenced him. That is why they sentenced him because of all the truth. And he used self-determination of the UN. And he never worked for us. He never worked for Juku. He never worked for us.
This guy here, according to BBC Hausa, said that he called out President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to give him permission to travel to US to show Donald Trump, like to show the US his strength, that he is very, very brave. See as this guy won't bring President Bola Ahmed Tinubu out. See as call him, they mentioned, they say make he give him permission. See wahala. This is to show you that the country, Nigeria, has been captured by some group of people.
It can never work. Master Khan told you in 2015.
Lagos State for defamation, for defaming his name, and for declaring him wanted. He sued him 500 million for defamation. Defamation. Fresh new Alpha Jet has arrived Nigeria to strengthen the Air Force. No be smart, you know. Let's continue.
This is why they sentenced him, because of truth and being the second Jesus Christ of our time. Child. YouTube, I have no power over this music, please. Do you see what they sentenced him? And look at those that are the owners of Nigeria being free. See them. Do you see it? This is the S1. This is the owners. Look at them dressing, equipping them. They are ready to bomb everywhere. What is coming from now to December? then you will know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu meant well for all of you who gang up and use life sentence to him. And you see that man he caused, he will not pass next year. Go and check history of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So my people, in all this, we are going to end it here. Look at those being kidnapped. See crying, begging for them to be free. Look at it. We must be wise. It's a time to look at people that are being kidnapped, begging for their life.
Sheikh Gumi say the bandits will not stop because that is where they get their money they use in buying their war machine. He also said
they will not stop
did not integrate them and did not add them into Nigerian budget. That is the more reason they are.
All that is happening is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in prison.
Do you see why now the bandits are
and Africa will never have peace.
They want to prove
they will never have United Africa until Biafra becomes a country.
It is not only the Christians
that is only when Africa will be free. So my people, from me, from here, it is a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. You have spent maximum 3 hours. Until we see again tomorrow evening, the same time. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. One love, my people. Be careful. Support United States of Biafra re-declared on November 29, 2024. We are going to celebrate our first independence on what? On November 29, 2025. Be there. Be there. Be happy and be strong that Biafra has emerged as a country. Whether they like it or not, we are not going back. Biafra or nothing. Thank you so much. One love. Remain blessed.